Managing multiple clients or large websites? Automate your SEO with Ali AI. Start your free trial now.
Taylor Swift is a link builder. There were rumors that she would get engaged. Our client said, let's give them a free wedding venue. And then we got them 50 links. That's digital PR.
Wix Studio, one end-to-end web creation platform for your agency to deliver exceptional work with absolute efficiency.
So yeah, you can say it however you like. I don't think we're too bothered as long as you're giving us your money and you're paying for the tool. You can say any kind of variation you like. But yeah, so I'm going to go into some ways you can actually use Ahrefs to do something good and not just drown in data. So yeah, here's the boring slide with an introduction. I think the two important parts are that I've been working for Ahrefs, literally teaching people how to use this for like 8 years on the blog. Like if you read the blog, about half of it's written by me. And also I used to have a lot more hair, which is, yeah, a bit of a disappointment. But I guess we all tend towards Neil Patel, I think, at some point. But yeah, so 12 ways. And the idea here is really like, I kind of want people to come away with this thinking, you know what, I didn't realize you could do that in Ahrefs, so I might give that a go. I'm not saying to do every single one of these things because that'd be a bit crazy. But yeah, the first one, update existing pages for low-hanging fruit keywords. So a low-hanging fruit keyword, I'm defining it as something where you're ranking probably bottom of page 1, top of page 2, where you're doing quite well, but you're just not quite there, right? Like all of the clicks go to the top few positions. And it's usually easier to just give these pages a bit of a boost than it is to just create a brand new piece of content and go after new keywords, right? So a really easy way to find these in Ahrefs, Site Explorer, just enter your site, go to the organic keywords report. So once you're in there, you can filter and find position 4 to 15, so bottom of page 1, top of page 2. And I also recommend adding a volume filter just because there's not much point optimizing for a keyword if it's like no one's searching for it, right? Like you're not going to get any more clicks. So yeah, the process at this point, once you've found the opportunities, is really just to look down this list of keywords. Try to look for keywords that you're actually targeting, that you actually care about, as opposed to just those random keywords that pop up. And what you want to do is look at the actual SERP. So there's a little SERP button that will reveal the SERP and all this information for the keyword. And what you want to look for, a good opportunity, is when a page ranking just a few positions above you is getting way more traffic. So for example, we're ranking 7 here, and we're getting an estimated 15,000-ish visits a month. But just a few positions higher, 36,000, right? So if we can just boost this, we're probably going to get a lot more traffic. Now, that's finding the opportunity. Actually doing the optimization is a little bit more difficult. I don't really have time to go into all that stuff, but we do have a new tool, AI Content Helper. I would suggest have a look at that. It will literally use AI to try and find subtopics that you've missed and maybe stuff that might help you rank higher. But yeah, if you find these opportunities, you can go after them and try and boost them. Yeah, number 2, so feature snippet opportunities. I think we're all a bit excited about AI overviews these days, but feature snippets still exist, right? And they're a good way to kind of shortcut your way to number 1, because if you're ranking on the first page, the snippet comes from one of the top ranking pages. So if you're eligible, you can sometimes get in and win the snippet. So yeah, in that same report, the organic keywords report, this time if you use the SERP features filter, you can literally filter for the keywords that you rank for, where there is a snippet in the SERP, but you're not the person that owns it. Your website doesn't own that, right? So you can then start to think, okay, so Google's showing a snippet here, how can I appear in that? So a good way to do that is you want to try and figure out if you're actually eligible for that snippet. So we're ranking in this one, so this is all good, but if you just Google the actual keyword and see who's ranking there, you'll get some idea of what Google wants to see. Like in this case, it's a list. Like if that's not the format of your page, you probably want to rejig things a little bit. But a good trick to actually see if you are eligible is to use this kind of -domain.com operator in Google. So if you actually do the domain that's currently in the snippet, it will exclude that and show you the next eligible snippet. So if you keep doing that and you never appear, you're not eligible. And that's when you need to kind of go into your page and figure something out, add a paragraph, figure out what Google needs. Sometimes even just taking what's already in your post or page and just asking ChatGPT to make it simpler, right? Just feature snippets are always simple. But yeah, it's an easy way to to find those opportunities. So 3, update pages with declining traffic. So rankings just don't last forever, usually anyway. So if you lost traffic in like the last 6 months, there's probably something you can do to that page, give it a little bit of a freshen up and boost that traffic. So to find these, the top pages report. So the top pages report shows you the pages with the most traffic on your site, like from high to low, the most estimated traffic. If you filter for traffic that's declined and add a comparison period of the last 6 months, and then literally sort from low to high, you'll see all of the pages that have lost the most traffic in the last 6 months. And you can fiddle around with this, do 3 months, 12 months, whatever you want to do. At that stage, it's literally a case of, again, figuring out why that is. I can't go into too many details because there could be many reasons, but just to give an example, we have a blog post that lists the top Google searches, like a listicle of like the most searched keywords. Whenever someone searches for that in Google, they want to see fresh information, right? They don't want to know what the top searches were last year or even 6 months ago. So we see like dip in traffic for that, like it'll lose traffic, and we'll just go in and update the information and it just regains. You just need to look at your pages and figure out like why are they losing this traffic. Number 4, so content gaps. So we've had this report in Ahrefs for like forever. So if you just add in some competitors in your own site, you'll be able to see the keywords they rank for, at least one of those websites ranks for, but you do not. We've kind of got a new version of this now that's a lot more powerful, and I think, you can do stuff like see the heat map and get a bit of a visual view. You can, going back to that idea of low-hanging fruit keywords, you can find keywords where you rank on the second page, but competitors are all ranking on the first page, which kind of indicates like, well, if they're ranking well, you can probably do it as well. You can get really granular with like, literally tick specific competitors and make sure they're all ranking if you want to really like focus on one particular thing. A good way to find new content ideas, things that you might want to actually create content about. Exclude SERP positions like site links and stuff as well. Update old pages with low traffic. So we publish a lot of content on the Ahrefs blog, and not all of it performs well, right? Like a lot of it does, but sometimes pages just don't ever get those rankings. They don't ever take off. The thing with those pages is you've got to remember that although you forget about them, they do exist, and over time they're probably just getting a bit of authority, some backlinks, so they're quite easy sometimes to pull back from the grave, so to speak. So if you go into Content Explorer and you just enter your own website, you can literally filter for pages published, say, more than a year ago on your site, and you can filter for page traffic, say, up to 50, so basically no traffic, right? So you're finding these old pages that you probably forgot about that, again, may have got a lot of links, like this study of ours, 215 links, referring domains, it's getting no traffic. If we go back to that and we re-optimize and we think, okay, did we miss search intent? What did we do wrong? You can often, quite low-hanging opportunities to bring back. And again, I'll plug our new AI content helper tool here. If you literally plug in a keyword and a page, it'll like use AI to find search intent and help you find those subtopics and all that kind of stuff. So number 6, cannibalization issues. So I'm always a bit hesitant to talk about cannibalization because I don't think it's as big deal as most people make it out to be. But finding these opportunities, if you go into the organic keywords report again, literally just filter for multiple URLs. So this will find keywords where you've got at least 2 pages on your site ranking for them. Now from that stage, it's a case of figuring out, is this really an issue or is it just something that's happening and that's fine? So the key here is to look for pages that are fulfilling the same search intent. Like if you've got an e-commerce page and you've got a blog post and they're ranking for the same keywords, my opinion is who cares, like that's good. But if you've got really, really similar pages that are just like the same, you're probably better off combining them into one, redirecting, consolidating, and just, ranking number 1 instead of ranking 3 and 10. So a good example of something that I wouldn't consider an issue, despite it being kind of similar, is this one on our blog, where we've got a listicle of case studies and we've got an actual case study. Like, it makes no sense. It doesn't matter that these are ranking for the same keyword. Like, who cares? But we did have like 3 blog posts a couple of years ago that were all about like beginner's guides to broken link building, all pretty similar. So we just, consolidated them and then we ranked number 1. You can use the position history graph to kind of figure out how much of an issue maybe this is, because sometimes they just flick in and out occasionally. But if you see like a really like chaotic graph, this one's quite simple, but sometimes it's like, pages flicking out all the time, then you've probably got a bit of an issue, and Google's a bit like, which page should I rank? So it's something to solve. But yeah, we've got this blog post actually by my colleague Mateusz, which is worth a read. Talks about the good side of keyword cannibalization and how it can be a good thing. But yeah. Number 7, so redirect links from your most linked to 404 pages. So this one's a really simple one. Every website has these 404 pages, right? Like as much as you try to avoid them, maybe something gets deleted accidentally, or you do a site migration and things don't get migrated quite properly. It doesn't really matter in most cases, but if you've got lots of links pointing to these pages and they're just dead, you may as well redirect them somewhere else, somewhere better, send all of that link juice or whatever you want to call it to somewhere that matters. So for example, we've got this page, competitive analysis blog post with 361 referring domains pointing to it. It's a dead page. I don't actually know why this doesn't exist, but I do know that we've got this page that's live on the blog that's competitor analysis tools. So we may as well just redirect that there, send all of that link juice to this really similar page. Maybe we can boost that in Google with a literal like 2-second redirect. Internal link suggestions. So yeah, we all work hard to get backlinks and get that authority to our site. And I think sometimes we forget to like direct that wherever we want the link juice to actually go and to the page we want to rank. So yeah, the key here I think is to try and link contextually. And a really good way to find these opportunities is literally this internal link opportunities report in Site Audit. So this basically suggests places to link from, the context, and where to link to. And you can plug a certain page in here as well. Like if you want to just build links and try and boost a certain page, like a low-hanging fruit kind of page, you can plug that in and say, okay, show me some contextual opportunities where have I mentioned things that this page like should rank for, and it'll kind of suggest places to go in and add those links. So it's a really easy way to do that. So link gaps. So similar to the content gap, this finds people linking to competitors but not you. And again, this has existed in Ahrefs forever. You put in a few competitors, you put in your own site, and it'll show you every website linking to them but not you. We've now got the 2.0 version, which I think the most powerful part of this is this first point, that you can see the most common referring pages, not just websites. So what this means in practice is that you can find pages that link to multiple competitors, but not you. So often you'll discover things in here like, if you run like an email marketing software, you can find pages like a list of 10 best email marketing software that link to Aweber and ActiveCampaign and MailChimp, but they don't link to you. So you can literally reach out to the people who crafted those pages and say, look, you're recommending all these tools, why not us? And you can find these opportunities quite easily. But yeah, all sorts of other stuff, you can filter by DR, domain traffic, see a nice visual heat map, and get granular with competitors. But yeah, that referring pages thing is pretty powerful, I think. Yeah, so unlinked brand mentions. So I think this, this is not a new tactic, this whole idea of people mention you and maybe you can reach out to them and say, hey, look, you mentioned me, you didn't link, could you link? There's a bit of nuance to it, it does still work, I think. But yeah, an underutilized tool for this one that we seem to never talk about, despite it being really great, is like Web Explorer. So this is literally using the same index as our quite controversial search engine at this point. But yeah, so 500 billion pages, it's almost like searching Google with Google search operators, and you can get really granular. So if you just put your brand in, and then you go to this examples tab, you can literally just click this one, brand mentions of Ahrefs that did not link to their website. And it'll search that kind of index of the web, and it'll show you all of those unlinked mentions just instantly. And we've got way too many, but you can filter this down, one page per domain, no subdomains, filter by DR, whatever you want to do, language, and you can export this and reach out to those people. 11, I think this is an interesting one. So I think, I write a lot of blog posts, and as much as I know SEO, and I know that I should link with the descriptive anchor text, you know, when I'm linking to other posts. Often I don't. Often I'm using things like click here. You know, if you want to learn more about this, click here. And that'll be my anchor text. This doesn't really give Google much information about the page. So if you just search for these, like when you use these generic anchor texts. So if you go to the internal anchors report in Site Explorer and filter for like anchors, you can just add in stuff there, like click here, read more, whatever. Find all of those times that you use those crappy kind of pointless words, go back, restructure the sentence and make that anchor text a little bit better, just to give Google that little bit more context. And yeah, you can use things like ChatGPT, just generate a list of these kind of terms, paste them in, and use ChatGPT as well to just rephrase the sentences, to be honest, and just, it's quite easy. Yeah, so an example, like a real life example there, like on our blog, like learn more about domain rating here, and then here's the anchor text. Like why? Why did we not just say like, you know, learn more about domain rating in this post, and about domain rating is the anchor. So we can just go back and change that. Yeah, and this one, a little bit of a vague one to finish, but yeah, obviously we've got site audit, so you can do what site audit tools do, and you can search your site for all of these hundreds of SEO issues. I think it often feels like you're just drowning in unimportant things here. So we do categorize these by you know, importance to some extent. So yeah, you can look at changes. A cool thing about this is you can see changes in issues between crawls. So if you've got like scheduled crawling set up, you can say, look, oh, you know, there's been more 404 pages since the last crawl. And you can use things like, let's skip a few bits. Use things like this comparison, so you can literally see like the HTML or the page text between crawls, and you can kind of get an idea of like what's gone wrong here, what changed, why did this issue occur, and you can often find like reasons, like bigger issues, like something that's going wrong in terms of your processes or whatever that's causing an issue to keep appearing. But yeah, one thing I will plug as well, because I've got 3 more minutes and I literally work for Ahrefs, but yeah, we are soon launching like a patches thing within Site Audit. So for example, if I just go back a couple of slides, you might have like issues like this, like meta description too long, right? Or title tag missing. I don't think any of us find it fun solving these boring issues, writing, you know, meta descriptions, going and putting them in our page. So patches will work a little bit like Google Tag Manager. So you can install a little thing on your site, and it'll allow us to push fixes from our end. So you can be in here, and you can see that there's a meta description too long on a certain page. Within Ahrefs, you'll be able to use generative AI to like write the thing, and literally click a button, and it'll go live onto your page. So I'm quite excited about that because I don't enjoy this side of SEO. Like this is just boring, right? I want to do some content. I want to make something. But yeah, that is a wrap this time. So I'll be around for any questions if you've got them.
Monthly reporting making you want to shove sharp things up your nose? Try Dragon Metrics, the all-in-one SEO software with mind-blowing reporting tools.